Folks, WrestleMania 41 is already in the rearview mirror. I know we were building it up in our heads all year round, and it finally came, and despite what you feel about it, it's still the biggest show of the year. But with that in mind, we're already, as wrestling fans, looking forward to next year's WrestleMania in New Orleans. In today's video, I'm going to do my best educated guess to determine the entire card for WrestleMania 42, along with a few, we'll call wish list items. Before we get into that, go ahead and like and subscribe. It means the world to me. You can follow me at all socials at @heartfelt. Without further ado, let's get into the video. Before we get into the actual card, I want to talk about my wish list items mainly for the pre-show, because as you felt this past year that the pre-show is just 2 to 3 hours of just nothing. I know they're trying to replicate like a Super Bowl coverage, like NBA Finals, World Series coverage, but no one wants to listen to 3 hours of just nothing. When there's clear evidence you can do something better with it. Like Stand and Deliver had, a women's tag team match on the kickoff show to lead us into the card, which is great. A WrestleMania SmackDown that really just could have been a SmackDown, and stuff got put onto the pre-show. We had a TLC match that should have been on the card, and the World Tag Title match that should have been on the pre-show. Just stuff like that. So my wish list for WrestleMania 42 pre-shows is one of the nights give us some sort of match, maybe one of the tag titles don't make it onto the main card, get them on a pre-show of some form, and put the Andre the Giant Battle Royale on the pre-show for WrestleMania. Yeah, it's may not be filled with fans, but who cares? It's just something that, if it's WrestleMania related, it should be on WrestleMania. Again, that's more wish list, but let's get to the actual card. Coming in for the WWE Championship, right now, I have Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes. I do think with this new group coming through for Seth Rollins, this is a year plus group faction. And I think Seth uses to catapult himself back into the WWE title picture, especially with once Cena's gone later this year. And Cody's Cody. He will find a way to challenge for it. If he's not already a champion then, and of course if he's champion, Seth Rollins will find a way to challenge for it. But I do believe the WWE title match will be Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. Reignite that rivalry. Speaking of Seth's faction, I do think that it's used to help elevate Braun Breaker, which is why I have him challenging Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship. And as of right now, I have Braun Breaker as the Royal Rumble winner. I think that faction becomes inter-brand, multi-brand, however you want to say it. And they go for gold on both nights. And it'll be fun. But Gunther's Gunther. He's going to get his World Heavyweight title back. I don't think off Jay. I think it kind of maybe hop skips a couple people, but eventually gets back to Gunther. And Braun Breaker wins a Royal Rumble, challenges Gunther at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight title. Next, we finally get the dream match in the women's division, one-on-one, in which Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley face off for the women's world title, with Bianca Belair being the Royal Rumble winner. I think they're going to run a repeat winner again, this time be Bianca. And the one-on-one match that is legitimately a dream match, legitimately a match that could main event one of the nights, is that, and you build it up enough, you let it build. This is a match that, unlike Jay versus Gunther, this can be built straight away from the Royal Rumble and have hype. There's history, attacks, all that kind of stuff. Let this build into a dream mainstream match, and you have your at least night one main event. They do it right, night two main event with, like I said, Bianca win the Rumble, challenging the then women's world champion, which will be at the time Rhea Ripley. All right, your WWE Women's Championship will be Jade Cargill versus Charlotte Flair. I don't know who's champion at the time. I don't know how they get there, but Charlotte Flair at WrestleMania seems to be a stepping stone for who WWE wants up next. You see it with Rhea, you see it with Tiffany, and you'll see it with Jade Cargill at next year's WrestleMania. So Jade Cargill, Charlotte Flair for the title. Again, I don't know how to get there, but they just get there. Next, I have the United States title match between Damian Priest and Aleister Black. I do think Aleister floors with the title. Maybe he wins it in next year and holds on to Mania. But I do think we get Damian Priest going back to heel. He's a fun face. He's a good face, but maybe a failed WWE title opportunity pulls him back to the dark side or something along the lines. But I do think we get a heel Damian Priest by this time next year, and Priest Aleister Black. The spookiness factor of it will be kind of cool, and it'll just be a good match for the United States title. So yeah, we're getting that. In the spirit of tradition, which it seems like this next title is always defended between multiple people, the Intercontinental Championship will be defended in a multi-man something, where they go back to like WrestleMania 32 and 31, the ladder match. They do our Fatal 4-Way. I don't know who is in it, but it would not be a one-on-one match. It will be multi-man something. I'm thinking more than 4. I'm thinking 6, 7. And yeah, this realistically could be another ladder match for the title, which will be awesome. The ones at 31, 32 were pretty good, and they always gave way to cool spots and new stars in it. So your Intercontinental title we defend in a multi-man something. Your Women's United States title, which I do think makes it onto the card. WWE has a way, sometimes has a tendency to say we're sorry, and then the next time the event rolls around, they kind of correct their mistakes. So I do think we get a Women's United States title match between Roxanne Perez and Bayley. I don't know how you get there. You should keep Roxanne and Bayley separated. We're not going to run it at Mania, run it at next year's Mania, and just put the title in there. Again, how do you get there? We got a year to figure it out. But that's a cool little rivalry. They can call back to like NXT and all that kind of stuff, and just it will give a prominent spotlight to the title that at the time Chelsea Green did a good job to get it elevated, and they just had nothing for it on the card. So it makes it in 42, which is Roxanne Perez and Bayley. The World Tag Team Championship, I have New Day versus Fraxium. I know Fraxium's on SmackDown, but that SmackDown like division is loaded. I can see some teams coming over to Raw. I think New Day stays there. There's a stable there as far as heels. I think Fraxium works their way up, and the crowd already loves them. They're working NXT. They're a team that could wrestle a wet napkin, have a 5-star match. We get those two teams at WrestleMania. This may be a pre-show match. I don't want it to. If you're going to throw New Day War Raiders on the main card, this far and above deserves to be on the main card, because it's just a good match, and it could be a crowning moment for Fraxium to win tag team gold on the main roster at WrestleMania. So yeah, New Day, Fraxium, World Tag Team titles, do it. All right, and then for now, those are the titles I have on a card, which means like the WWE tag title may not make it. Again, the women's Intercontinental title may not get defended, but those are things that can be put on pre-shows. Like I said, we have 3 hours. You can throw 2 matches a night there, and it'll be fine. Just an idea. Just saying. This is more so what the heart wants over the head. Give me Carmelo Hayes versus Trick Williams on the greatest stage. I would love for them to run it back on WrestleMania. They did at WrestleMania weekend last year. Was it 2024? I Stand Deliver NXT. Let's run it back at WrestleMania 42. I don't care who's face. I don't care who's heel. They have chemistry. It works. You can make a blood feud out of that. It'll be a good time. Next, I have Logan Paul versus CM Punk. Easy for you to get to. Logan Paul and CM Punk are two opposite sides of the wrestler spectrum. CM Punk calls him out. Maybe Logan Paul costs him a shot at a chamber, at a Royal Rumble, or at a match on Raw for a title shot, and Punk wants to punch him in the face. It would be a decent build to it, because they both were talking to Mike, and that was somewhat good match. So Logan Paul versus CM Punk at WrestleMania 42. Right now, I have Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch. I think Liv deserves a one-on-one feud at Mania after not really having one at 41, despite an impressive 2024. And this is one of those things where, similar to Logan Paul taking out CM Punk of a title picture, I think they take each other out of the title picture, get angry about it, and decide to punch each other's face in a Mania. That'll be a good match, a high enough caliber name match to warrant, you know, its own marquee. So Liv Morgan versus Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 42. And last but not least, I think the trigger is finally pulled, and we get Roman Reigns versus The Rock for the follow-up for the Bloodline for Pride. I don't know what's online, but it happens. As of right now, I guess the last big dream match for The Rock, super dream match. I think this happens. Finally, The Rock heard, like, he fed us that bullshit for 41 that he didn't feel like, you know, getting out of bed for it. I think he tries to make up for it. I don't know what movies he has coming out of in the fall. They're probably gonna bomb, which means he'll be back at WWE. I don't care how you get there. It's gonna be fun. It will be a scattered build because you have two super part-timers. You know, say what you will, Roman Reigns is a super part-timer now, especially if there's not a title involved. And we'll finally get that dream match. And to be fair, this bold prediction, I do think that if we get Roman Reigns versus Rock at 42, it will be The Rock's final professional wrestling match. He retires afterwards, so yeah, what better time than then? That's gonna do it for my card. What do you guys think? I hope I made some sense. I hope my logic sounds decent enough, but let me know in the comments if you think I'm wrong, if you completely disagree, or if you like it. I'd love to read it. As always, like and subscribe. It means the world to me. Go ahead and follow me on all socials at It's Heartfelt. But right now in this video, I am just heartfelt. I'll catch you guys in the next video, which hopefully comes out before WrestleMania 42. All right, see ya. Peace.